Dhomonique will be speaking to us about her passion for storytelling and how she is now focused on helping others tell stories effectively. So I want to introduce Dhomonique. She is a 3-time Emmy Award-winning storyteller and television journalist, president of Media Mastery Now, LLC. She's the founder, host, and president of The Right Method, LLC, where she interviews some of the world's most notable business icons and motivators. She's also a published author of Reset, Attitude is Everything, and Reset 2. And if that weren't enough, she was crowned Mrs. Virginia American 2020 and named the most photogenic at Mrs. American 2021. She has appeared on stages across the nation, has been featured on The Steve Harvey Show, Fox, ABC, NBC, HSN, CBS, basically everywhere.
And now Rotary.
And now Rotary, most important. And she's a recipient of the Salute to Excellence Award from the National Association of Black Journalists. So Dhomonique, thank you so much for being with us. And I'm going to turn the floor over to you.
Steve, I will pay you for the intro after this is over.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve. Good to see you. For the gentleman who had the tragic accident, goodness, I don't see you on here anymore, but I hope everything is well with you and you're on the mend. So wanted to say hello, you guys. Welcome. I'm Dhomonique. I'm so happy to be here and for this opportunity to speak with all of you today. This is going to be very interactive. The way I operate, we speak, we converse together, we grow, we learn. So now you know a bit about me. My background is all things media, all things exposure, storytelling, etc. So I love media. I love storytelling. And what I always do with groups when I speak is I start with a few questions so I have more of an idea of who's in the room with me today. So the first question I have for all of you, how many of you have a story to share with the world? How many people have a story? A lot of you are like, I don't think I do. Do I? Okay, go ahead and put your hands down. The answer is yes, everyone should have their hand up because every single person in this room has a story to tell. Typically, there are two types of people. There are the people who have tons and tons and tons of things they've done. I could talk about this, but I don't know how to put it all together and make it all succinct because I've done so many things and they don't quite go together. What is my story? The other half of people that I work with literally are the folks who are like, I don't think I have a story. I'm not a billionaire. I haven't saved a child from a burning house. I don't have a gold medal of some sort. I don't think I really have a story that people would actually want to listen to or would care about. And I'm here to tell you guys that could not be further from the truth. Every single person has a story, and that story can change someone's life. So I want to talk to you guys today about the art of storytelling, getting your voice out there, and also really scaling when it comes to reaching a larger audience. So let me ask this question next. How many entrepreneurs are in the room today? Okay, keep your hands up so I can see. Okay, beautiful. And how many wantrepreneurs are out there? That's someone who wants to be one, but they're like, I'm not quite there yet, but I really want to do that. Wantrepreneurs. Okay, and how many intrapreneurs are here? Those are folks who work a 9-to-5, right? You have a job. Okay, beautiful, cool. So now I have a lay of the land. So when it comes to storytelling, I want to let you guys know that people do not buy products. Contrary to popular belief, they don't. People buy people, and people buy passion, and people and passion are based on a story. So it's very important to understand if you are in your business right now and you're really looking to scale, reach a larger audience, get to the next level, you have to have a story behind your brand. When I work with most entrepreneurs, I say, what's your story? And they'll say something to the effect of, well, I do this, and these are our numbers for last year, and here's where we are, these are our projections. They'll give me bullet points off of a resume, and that is not a story. A story is memorable. A story differentiates you from everyone in your industry. A story is relatable, and it's real. So it's very important to understand those facets of what a story is. I'll give you an example. A client of mine, one of my clients, came to me and she said, I'm having a very difficult time scaling my business. My graphics look great, branding's beautiful, everything is the way it should be. And we looked it over. We did an audit on her company, website, great, graphics, great. She had her color scheme down for her branding. Everything looked good, but there was a key element that was missing in her business. So I said, what's your story? And she goes, my what? I go, your story. What is the story behind your brand? I don't know. I said, you do know. What's your story? She goes, I really don't know. I said, okay, well, why do you sell makeup? She sold vegan cosmetics. I said, why do you sell makeup? She's like, because I don't know. I like makeup. I'm like, well, you could sell toothbrushes. So why do you sell makeup? Like, what about makeup resonates with you? And she said, well, I just like how it makes me feel. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I said, why do you need makeup to make you feel better? What happened to you to need makeup to feel better? And she goes, well, I said, okay, we have a story formulating here. What is the story behind why you sell makeup? And she's like, well, it goes back to my childhood. I said, okay, what happened? Long story short, she grew up in a different country outside of the USA, and women were perceived as less than men. And so she grew up in a culture where women were told, be quiet, don't speak up, play small, be a housekeeper, take care of children. That is what you do. And as a young girl, she loved basketball, and she was a tomboy, loved jeans, big t-shirts, and she loved basketball. And because of those factors, her father would tell her every single day that she was ugly and that she looked like a boy. And so instead of doing what most children, probably myself included as a child, would have done, which is play victim, I can't believe my dad thinks I'm ugly, I can't believe my father would say this to me, she made it her mission to make sure that all women understand how beautiful they really are. So once we were able to find the story behind the brand and expose that to the world, her sales doubled. I mean, it was crazy what happened because people don't buy products. People buy people, people buy passion, people and passion are based on a story. So I want you guys to be thinking of that when it comes to your businesses and your brands. Whether you love where you are right now in terms of your numbers coming in, or you're looking to really expand, and honestly, who doesn't want to keep growing, right? Keep projecting forward. Make sure you have a story behind what it is that you do. So I want to give you guys a formula. The formula is visibility equals credibility equals profitability. I'll say it again. Visibility equals credibility, which equals profitability. Let me explain what that means. This formula is absolutely going to change the way you do business. If you're looking to monetize, make more money. If you are looking to reach a new audience and grow your audience, these things are fundamental. Also, exposure is everything when it comes to putting your business, your brand, your Rotary Club on the map. So let's break it down succinctly. Visibility is what it sounds like. It's being heard, it is being seen. If you want to get from here to here, you have to be visible. So you need to be thinking constantly, how can I be visible? How can I, as the head of my company, be visible? How can my brand be visible? How can I get it out there? Newspapers, magazines, radio stations, podcasts, anything, television. How can I get out there? Speaking on stages and in front of other people. How do we get our message out there on a larger front? So visibility, being seen, being heard. It leads to credibility. When people see you, when people hear you, you naturally become more credible. It's how it works. If you want to be an authority in your space, you have to be visible. That is how you build credibility. If you want to be known in your industry for what you do, visibility is what you need to get the credibility. And when you are credible, you will monetize significantly. So let me give you a real life example. If I was to say, close your eyes right now, and I want you to think of an auto insurance company. Ding, 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 ding. You guys thought of one like that. Maybe it's State Farm. Maybe it is Aflac, Geico, Progressive. It doesn't matter. Farmers. You thought of a company immediately. And there's no one up here speaking that works for one of those companies who's selling that product to you. So why did you think of them? because they are a solution to a problem when nobody is there. We will get into that momentarily. But the reason why you thought of them is because in your mind and subconsciously, they are credible to you. Let's bring this home even more. If I told you guys today, I have a new auto insurance company. It is called Dhomonique's Auto. It is fabulous. Oh, it is fabulous. Dhomonique's Auto. Do you want to buy Dhomonique's Auto? Chances are you'll probably say, congratulations, that sounds great, but I'm going to go with State Farm. I'm going to go with Progressive. And the reason why is because you don't know anything about Dhomonique's Auto. You've heard of the company you thought of everywhere. You've seen them on the news, in the radio. You've heard them on the radio. You've seen them on television. You've seen their ads on billboards, on the sides of buses. You're constantly being bombarded with these messages. So because they are visible, you thought of them first. You want to buy from them as opposed to me, right? So they're more credible. And because you bought from them, they are more profitable. So that is the formula. If you guys are looking to grow exponentially, I want you to focus on visibility. I want you to be thinking about media, exposure. How can I get myself, my brand, my name, my business out there to the masses? Visibility equals credibility, which equals profitability. The people who are the most successful in this world, just so you guys know, are the people who are solutions to problems. People who are solutions to problems are the ones who are the most successful, right? So if you want to get to the next level, I want you to be constantly thinking, how can I create something, right, a service or a product that either betters someone's life, people will pay for betterment, simplifies someone's life, make my life easier, gives somebody access that they can't get on their own, and educates them. Okay, so I want you guys to be thinking of these concepts constantly as you move forward, but visibility is where it all stems from. Being visible, being seen, being heard is how you get to the next level. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about my background, a little more in depth so you get to know me, and I want to be cognizant of the time today as well. So I'm from Minnesota originally. Yes, I used to have an accent. I get asked that question all the time, and I sounded like, oh yeah, don't you know, you betcha. Grew up in Minnesota, left there, went to college in Missouri. I've worked all over the nation in television, so coast to coast, TV anchor, #1 stations, also a television host. Left TV in 2020 to become an entrepreneur, and I absolutely love it. I took my two loves, business and media, and I married the two of them, launched 2 companies, and I have 2 more companies coming out later this year. So one is Media Mastery Now. It's all things media training, media exposure. So I help people, just like you, gain confidence, find your voice, right? And I train you on every facet of media, so when you do get the opportunities to be in front of television, radio, magazines, podcasts, etc., you do not blow it. Also, you become the person that they call over and over again. I mentioned it earlier, being a solution to a problem when nobody is there. I want to give you guys another real life example. If I was to say, gosh, I'd love to get away on a vacation. Don't want to spend a lot of money, maybe $250 round flight. Yeah, $250. Name my own price. That'd be so great if I could just name my own price. What company comes to mind? What company? You can write it in the chat if you want. Priceline.com. Yes, good job, guys. So Priceline.com, that's their whole motto. We thought of Priceline, maybe you thought of Cheap Tickets or Kayak or a similar platform, a similar aggregator. They are not here, yet we thought of them. And so that is how it works in media. When you show up the right way, when it comes to television, radio, magazines, podcasts, newspapers, you will become the person that they contact. So I train people to reverse engineer it. Instead of you begging for a TV opportunity and hoping that you get it, I teach you how to be the person that they call over and over again whenever they think of anyone who's in your industry for an interview. So that's what Media Mastery is all about. It's all about the art of storytelling behind your brand and getting the exposure that you need so you can truly monetize and truly reach a much larger audience. The beautiful thing when it comes to media is it's one of the easiest and quickest ways to exponentially explode your business and your brand. One opportunity, we're in DC, so why don't we focus on DC? DC is a top 10 television market, so let's focus on TV for 1 second. Top 10 That means one interview puts you in front of more than 1 million people, just one. And it takes you a couple of minutes to do. So when you're looking to really grow, there's all these tools and strategies for scaling your business, for growing exponentially. I want you guys to really start honing in on visibility and visibility through media. The beautiful thing with television, over the years, really since 2009, it's turned into more of a convergence model. And what that means is being on TV isn't just TV anymore. One interview gets repurposed into several stories that also air at different time slots on the actual television. They then take that content and they create a story on the website. So now it has international reach through the website. That's number 2. Number 3, that content then gets broken down and segmented, and it goes on their social media pages: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Oftentimes LinkedIn, depends on the television station, but a lot of social outlets will then get blasted with your content as well. So that's the third thing. It is a ton of exposure. The new model that a lot of television stations are also kind of segueing into are having podcast segments. So your story may end up on that as well. When we focus on DC, there are a lot of national outlets that are based here as well. And DC is a feeder market to a lot of these national outlets, whether it's the AP, whether it is a national program like CNN News Source. A lot of those are based here in the DC area. So one interview can put you in front of millions of people like that. And a lot of times your story that is a local story will get picked up by the national markets. So one interview, 10 minutes of your time can lead you to millions of eyeballs on your brand. And the beautiful thing about it is it lives forever. So a story on the website, 10 years from now, that story will still live. And what we see oftentimes when we track analytics, a story might have a big peak when it goes live, and then it's dormant for a while, and then 2, 3, 4 years later, it has a huge spike because someone finds the article and they post it on something, and all of a sudden there's a lot of eyeballs back to your business and your brand. So I love media. It is one of the easiest ways to get yourself out there. So if you are looking to get to the next level, yes, there are a lot of tactics and strategies to scale and grow and reach new people. Media is the #1 way to do it. And that's coming from someone who spent 20 years in the business, so I know it like the back of my hand. Visibility equals credibility, and it always equals profitability. One of my greatest mentors in this world, and I have a lot of them. I'm a big mentor fan. If you don't have any, it doesn't matter how old you are, get them because they are phenomenal. And I'm very honored to say I have a lot of very high-profile mentors that have helped me get to where I am and beyond. Jeff Hoffman is one of my mentors. He is the co-founder of Priceline.com, and he told me a quote, about 1.5 years ago, and it actually changed the way I started operating in life, not just business, but life. And he said, don't chase money, chase excellence. Don't chase money, chase excellence. And the reason why I love that so much is because when you chase excellence in every single thing that you do, you chase excellence in your business, excellence in the way you communicate with people, excellence in every single thing your name is associated with, money always comes inevitably. Like it's just part of the whole process. So I want you guys to start thinking about that when it comes to getting to the next level. All right, so visibility equals credibility, which equals profitability. The next 2 companies, so the right method, as Steve so eloquently put, we travel all over the USA, myself and a TV crew, and I interview big business icons. So if you can think of them, I've probably either interviewed them or we're on track to interview them for the next few seasons. So Alex Stern, co-founder of Constant Contact, Jeff Hoffman, Kevin Harrington with Shark Tank, Sharon Lechter. Ladies, yes, she's amazing if you don't know who she is. We're on track to interview Amelia Antonetti here very soon. She is one of the most successful women business icons in the world. She has grown 9 companies to over $100 million, and she's now getting ready to launch a company and take it public that's, I believe it's valued at like $1.6 billion. So she's just an unbelievable powerhouse. But folks like that, getting ready to launch a large global PR firm, which is going to be very huge. A lot of NDAs right now, so I can't tell you the name of it, but it's coming out here in about 8 weeks, and just a lot of exciting things in the process. So I am here to answer any questions that you have. I want to be cognizant of the time, so if you have any questions at all, let me know. Otherwise, I can continue speaking, whatever we should do, Steve.
thank you so much for wow, just opening our eyes to a lot of things. We do have some questions already,
Okay.
but what I'd like to start by asking a question for those who aren't entrepreneurs, and maybe just ask you. Obviously, not all of us are going to be on TV, but how would you scale your advice to any of us as on a personal level? If I'm looking to sort of, it seems to me that visibility equals credibility equals profitability. There's a personal element to that too. What would you say to those of us who are, beginning a career or looking to advance in a career, maybe not be on TV, but we want to do that? How does that apply?
Sure. Visibility is what we're doing right here. It's getting the confidence to speak in front of 58 people, 57 people, and be able to share your story. There are people on this call right now who are listening to me, and it's cool, who are going, I could never open my microphone and speak. I am so nervous to even do such a thing. It really comes down to gaining the confidence to put yourself out there. Whether you're in front of 3 people, 5 people, 500,000 people. Visibility does not necessarily equate to the big 5, which is TV, radio, magazines, newspapers, and podcasts. It literally is, if you are an entrepreneur, you're working in a job, you're an employee, having the confidence to walk into your boss's office and speak effectively without, shrinking down and playing small and not knowing how to speak. It's being able to speak up. It's being able to be confident. If you're looking to negotiate, it's being able to stand up firmly and be able to iterate why you deserve that opportunity, why you should be there, right? You're looking to get to the next level. Leaders are great communicators. The best ones are. They are able to communicate effectively. And effective communication doesn't mean you need to have a really big personality like me. It doesn't mean that you have to be like that. An effective communicator knows how to take individuals and help them get from A to Z, not B, A to Z. Effective communication. And when you can be an effective communicator, even as an employee, you will be one of the people who gets moved throughout the ladder a lot quicker. There's a philosophy, a mantra that I live by, and I'll share it with you guys. Most people have this mentality in life of give me heat and then I will add the wood. Let's think of a fireplace. Give me the heat and then I'll add the wood. So give me the money, the job, the opportunity, the promotion, and then I will work hard once I get it. It's a flawed model, and most people think that way, unfortunately. The way you want to go about it, whether you are an intrapreneur, a wantrepreneur, or an entrepreneur, is you have to put in the sweat equity. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the grit, the effort. And when you do, without asking for anything in return, don't do it and say, okay, so now what do I get? Just honestly give and give and give and give and give and truly not expect anything in return. And watch what starts to happen. All of this goes to effective communication. Communication is not just what comes out of your mouth. It is your body language, okay? When you sit here today, I'm completely open to you guys. If I was in here like this and, slouched over or my arms are crossed and I was speaking to you, I come across as guarded right now, right? Or like I'm not interested in being here. Effective communication is everything. It's how you dress. It's how you look. It's how you speak. It's how you present yourself. It is every nonverbal cue that you use as well. So yes, anyone can implement the visibility factor in any facet of their life to get to the next level.
Thank you. That's super helpful. You remind me of the advice I got for to get your next job, do the one you've got really well, right?
Yes.
That's the best way.
It's so true.
Let me turn now to Salvador Farfan, who's running our PR committee and has been listening with very attentive ears. Salvador, you want to ask your question?
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and thank you, Dhomonique, for your talk. And Steve is absolutely right. I'm sitting here going, yes, talk to me more, because obviously I'm listening with perspective of how can we improve the public relations of our club, right? We obviously becoming the authority for community surveys and for good stories would be ideal for our club, so that the media channels could come to us and say, hey, we have so many COVID stories right now, but we could really use a good story. Share with us, what you're doing. So we would love to be in in that space, and maybe you and I can chat offline to figure out how to get us there. But my question it was more of a nuts and bolts about social media, and what's a good rule of thumb in terms of providing content. I know different channels prefer, or consumers in different channels prefer a different rate of content, right? But what is a good rule of thumb for us to be out there?
Okay, social media. Who hates social media? Raise your hand. It's okay. How many people are like, oh, social media? Oh, Bill, I see you. It is okay. Most people don't like it, but unfortunately, you kind of have to in today's environment. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, all of these outlets are now your new business card. That is what has happened. Fortunately or unfortunately, some people love it, they love it. Others are like, oh, it's so much work, it's so much time, it's so much effort. So when it comes to social media, yes, you must be visible on social media. You have to if you want to take your business to the next level. People Google you all the time, whether it's a consumer coming to you, whether it's a media outlet looking to potentially showcase you on their platform. The first thing that they are going to do is they are going to look you up, and they are going to decide in literally 2 seconds or less if they like you. It's a very quick thing. It's like this. They can go and be like, nope, yep. And I've been that person for many years. So I'm like, no, or, oh, tell me more. Tell me more. So when it comes to your social, there's a few things I want you guys all to keep in mind. Number one, you must post minimally once a week. Minimally once a week. Okay, it's very important. Here's the thing, when people search you in the media, they're gonna go back and look at your social. If they see timestamps, and everything has a timestamp, unfortunately, and they see the last post you did was 5 months ago, or even worse, 12 months ago, what are they going to think? They're going to think you're not credible. They're going to think that you're not very active, that you're not really interested in truly getting that media. Media is looking for people who are savvy. They want folks who get it, if you will. So minimally once a week. Number two, if you have a social media page, it literally needs to be very clear. If I was to cover up your bio and look at the content on the page, I should know in a split second what it is that you do without reading a bio. If I cannot tell, then you need to do some more work on your social media page. A lot of people have stuff all over. They have their business, their dog, their lunch from yesterday, their vacation 2 weeks ago, a sunset, and it's like, whoa, I don't know what this is at all. What is your brand? Now, what I would recommend, and I'm not saying to delete this, if you have a page you love, you're like, Dhomonique, I love my Instagram, I love my Facebook. Yes, it has everything, but I really like it. That's okay. You want to create a business page, okay? You want to create a separate page that is niche focused to your industry. To you, if you're a personal brand, it needs to be whatever your personal brand is. You guys can always look me up on social and you can see exactly, you can copy it. I always tell people, copy my stuff. On Facebook, I have 394,000 followers. On Clubhouse, I have 50,000. On Instagram, I have 21,000, and you can see how it's all done, right? But you want to get hyper-focused into what it is that you do. So for example, I'll pull up my Instagram here real quick just so I can show you guys what my Instagram says. It's very, very clear. Bonus points if you can spell my name, guys, by the way. But here it is. Here's my Instagram, if you guys can see that. It's kind of hard to see. But what you'll see in the tagline right here in my bio, it's very, very clear. 3-time Emmy award-winning storyteller, media expert, pro speaker, entrepreneur, spokesmodel, author, warrior. Because I love that word, right? We're all warriors in our own right. But here's the thing. Once you figure out your identity on social media, everything you post falls into that brand. Every company that I have has its own page as well. And those are linked on my pages. So if you want media mastery and you're like, love you, Dhomonique, but I don't really care about what you're doing. I just care about the media side, PR exposure. That's what I'm really interested in, learning lessons about PR. Then I have a page just for you, and it's all media mastery. I have a page just for the right method, right? The new PR company is going to have its own page that's very hyper-focused to what it is that you do. So I want you guys to be thinking that as well. When media comes to look you up, they want you to be active. They want to know what it is that you do. You need to be very clear in your bio of who you serve. Who do you serve? The model that is a fail-proof model, if you are in a service type of environment, you're an entrepreneur, you are a coach, a consultant, it goes like this. I help X do Y so they can do Z. I help young entrepreneurs do X, right? Gain scholarships so they can do Z, so they can go to college without stress and worry. I help X, who do you help? Do Y, what do you help them do so they can do Z? What is the promise? What is the deliverable that they will get when they work with you? So clear bio, posting at least once a week, having content that resonates with your brand. And if you don't do this, create a second page. Also do an audit of your social. If there's anything on there at all that could be questionable, like, oh, is this too out there? Even politics, right? I know people are like fired up either way. Archive it if you want media exposure, okay? Especially when it comes to politics, because there's always gonna be somebody who looks at it who does not agree with what you've posted. And if there's anything that could come across potentially as a little to anybody, that's a no for you right off the top. You get one first impression. And so the key is making sure that when you do get that first meeting, that first opportunity, that first look over, that people love what they see. Another way to build credibility, especially through social or on your websites, is having testimonials. Now, when we think of testimonials, most people think of the old school way. Oh, get a written testimonial and post it on your website. Flawed model. That's good. Great video testimonial. Everything is video. And not only video, it needs to be a measurable testimonial. Let me explain the difference. A typical testimonial goes like this. I love Dhomonique. Oh my gosh, she's so nice and so much fun and so much energy, and I learned so much from her. She's the best. Right? That sounds great when you first hear it. I'm telling you, that's not a great testimonial. Testimonials that are brilliant are measurable. They tell someone where the person started before they worked with you and where they are now as a result. So let's use a fitness expert, for example. When I first started working with Tony, I was 40 pounds overweight. I really had low self-esteem and I hated the way I looked. I had a hard time sleeping. It was really hard for me to sleep at night, and I couldn't walk a mile without being winded. After working with Tony for 60 days, I lost 15 pounds. I'm sleeping through the night. I put a swimsuit on for the first time, and I actually loved the way that I looked. That is a measurable testimonial, okay? So that is what you want to be thinking for your businesses and your brands. And you can ask your clients for these testimonials. Just say, hey, listen, I'm looking for a measurable testimonial. I want you to tell me where you were before you started working with me and where you are now as a result. Don't be afraid to guide them. And when you explain it that way, they go, oh, okay, I get it. You're looking for an A to Z type of testimonial. So those are a few strategies, you guys, that you can implement into your social media pages that will really make you stand out from the rest.
Wow, awesome. We're certainly getting our money's worth today. Thank you so much, Dhomonique. I would like to now, we have 4 questions and we don't have a lot of time. So what I'd like to do is take them 2 at a time, challenge you a little bit. So I want to turn to Bill Day and to Maria Nelly to ask your 2 questions.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Bill Day. I am a lawyer who represents people who have suffered discrimination in their job, and bring cases and try to help them either get their jobs back, reverse adverse actions, or receive compensation. I think everything you've said is probably true, and I have a little exposure because my dad was a PR man, but it's everything I hate about the modern world. And I'm like, how do I deal with it? I hate TV. I want print. I like the farmer's market, not the giant. I want to go to the local body shop, not the dealership. I want to find my businesses based on personal interaction referrals from people I meet, not from, you know, a website, an advertisement. And I kind of hate the idea of having a brand. I want to be if I want credibility, it's because I win cases, not because, you know, I'm out there talking. So maybe that's just pushback, but how do I fit in here? Or am I just back in the 19th century?
Well, if you're winning cases, you're visible. You're actually out there, right? If you are winning, you are in a courtroom. People see you, so that is visibility in its highest potential. Yes, it's not exposed to a million people, but you're still very visible in your career path. You're not in a basement like working behind closed doors hoping that no one sees you. You are visible, and on top of it, you are helping people win cases to better their own lives. So you're giving these people freedom, if you will. You're giving them opportunities to also be more visible. Word of mouth is a beautiful thing. If you are a person, you're like, the whole thought of media makes me itchy, I don't, not my thing, that is okay. Word of mouth, like I said, utilize your clients and say, hey, listen, did you find that to be beneficial? Great. Will you give me a testimonial? Will you tell 5 of your friends, just 5 of your friends, what your experience was? When you know other people, because typically we talk about communities, right? If they've gone through it, usually they know somebody who's either currently in the system who needs help, or they know 2 or 3 lines of separation. They know other people who are in similar situations. And you can say, hey, listen, my name is Bill Day. I know you probably have a network of people who are also looking for relief, who are looking to get to the next level. Let them know I am here. Let them know I'm here. I am very visible in this arena, right? Word of mouth, literally, without paying for ads, without getting the exposure from a larger front, you can absolutely use your success stories as your advertising. There's nothing more brilliant than a word of mouth from someone who's experienced you. Because I don't know about you guys, but if someone calls me and says, Dhomonique, have you worked with so-and-so? Or have you bought this product? And it's somebody that I know, like, and trust, I'll buy it like that. I'm like, is it good? Oh yeah, it's great. Have you tried this tea? It's amazing. I'll order it because you trust the people in your circle a lot better. So I would say go all at it, and I would focus on your clients, but ask them to refer other clients to you that are in similar situations.
Well, we are, unfortunately, we're out of time. We have other questions. They're in the chat though, so maybe you can read them as if we close the meeting. Any last words for us?
Sure. I'm going to put, I just sent a little message in the chat, you guys. I want to make sure everyone here gets a little gift. I'm like Oprah. You get a gift. You get a gift. So everyone here is going to get my ebook. I'm going to give it to all of you guys completely free today. So I just put it in the chat. If you text the word story to 59925, it's right there in the chat, you're going to get a copy of my book. It's called Speak Up, 5 Simple Hacks to Gain Confidence, Find Your Voice, and Land Media Opportunities. It goes way more in depth into all of these trends and facets, so you can read it at your own pace, but I want to gift that to anyone here today who's interested in learning more. It's yours for free.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to President Bill for our closing here. President Bill.
Okay, I was just copying the chat. Keep that. Okay, and Dhomonique, that was fantastic, fascinating reflection on what you've achieved. That's quite remarkable, and I wish you every success with your new PR firm, which ties in with the fact that we have a PR committee. And if you could share with Salvador and the rest of us your email address, we'd love to keep in touch. If you're here in the Washington area, and once we are meeting again in person, love to have you join us as a club. We are an interesting group of people. Now, for each of our speakers, and thank you for speaking to us today, we make a commitment to plant a tree in your honor. We have a partnership with the National Park Service. We've been doing this for about 30 years, and we plant replacement cherry blossom trees around the tidal basin, and also have been retreeing the downtown parks. So normally I would hand you, if we were in person, a certificate. We'll mail it to you, committing to plant a tree in your honor. And we will invite you to the next tree planting ceremony probably in November. Another reason why I need your email address, okay? So thank you again for speaking to us today. It was absolutely fascinating and very apropos for what we're trying to do as a club also.
Well, it was a pure honor, Bill. I thank you all for the opportunity. If I can help any of you in any way, please let me know. Salvador, let's connect. I put my email in the chat. Anyone else can take it. It's not just for Salvador. You guys can email me and stay in touch. And yeah, let's keep the conversation going. But thank you again, Bill, for the opportunity.